Hello and good morning. Welcome back to the Shire Shed. And it seems as though fall has finally returned here in the Buckeye State. After many weeks of wondering, gosh, are we just going to stay in this perpetual state of summertime forever? Well, finally, things have cooled down. And if you know me at all, you know that I run super hot. Summers are not my favorite. Not into it. I like the sunshine, I like all that, but I don't like it when it's 90 plus degrees. It's not my deal, not my jam. Dunkin' Donuts, medium roast. As always, I'm going to quote a great man and a good friend of mine. Sun come up, coffee going down. Yeah, I did that. Love you, Beans. Anyway, you are here for a review. And after many months of having possession of this blend, I'm finally going to be reviewing it. This is a blend that I got at the Columbus Pipe Show in August. And one thing that I do is if I get a hold of blends with the intention of reviewing them for you guys and with the intention of doing a first impression, I don't even try to smoke it until I have it for the first time with you guys. Because for me to do anything otherwise would feel disingenuous and all that stuff. So if I'm doing a first impression, it is legitimately a first impression unless I tell you otherwise. Usually, if it's not the first time, it's like the second time. I don't. Anyway, blend that I'm going to be reviewing today and doing a first impression on is Per Jensen, Bold and Strong. Tin note on this, or pouch note, I guess, um, as I got two of the samplers. It smells like a solid mix between Rustica, Bold Kentucky, and Old Dark Fired. All the HH strong blends. I'm really excited to try this one. It is a nice, cool morning out here. Well, not out here. Here in the shed, it's pretty comfortable. It's actually like probably 70 in here. Feels great. And it's just kind of a perfect day for it. Something nice and strong, has a lot of oomph, and goes well with coffee, which coffee's delicious. So let's get this lit up. And there was a request by one of you, I believe it was last week or the week before, requesting that instead of cutting out me lighting this or lighting the pipe, that I leave it in. I will try that. I'm not going to make any promises because I feel like, personally, if I'm watching a video, and this is probably my ADD talking, if I'm watching a video and I'm sitting there watching a dude light a pipe, it gets boring. I don't know. I'm going to try it. But if this takes too long, I will be cutting some of it out. So, fair warning. Well, we're rolling, and that was like a solid minute of silence, so you're welcome. I will say one of the things I love about like dark fired type blends and specific examples would be Old Dark Fired, Bold Kentucky Rustica. You can push these pretty hard, and they won't bite. I love that because they are some of the blends that I don't really have to focus on going slow. And if you push them, they don't really mind in the flavor department. So it doesn't really take away from the flavor. It doesn't They're very forgiving. Having this blend, of course, in the Buckeye Gentleman or in my Buckeyes stuff, because it's game day. You're going to see this on Sunday, though. Okay, so far, really, really good. Mm, kind of getting I mean, there's definitely rustica in this. Somebody said I don't retrohale, or they don't see retrohaling much in YouTube reviews or something. It happens. Retrohaling happens. This almost has like a nice spicy, peppery note to it. Not like not like Perique or anything like that, but it's like a nice black pepper. I mean, it's very good. I'm not even going to feign surprise because there is no surprise. This is delicious. Per Jensen does a wonderful job blending. The man's a legend. I mean, there's no there's no secret to that. He's he's fantastic. And so is this blend. This is amazing. I will throw out the obligatory warning. If you are in any way averse to strong blends, may want to work your way up to this one. Because even though nicotine doesn't affect me like that, this I can tell is very stout, very strong. I almost want to say this has elements As I noted, this has elements of Rustica, Old Dark Fired, and Bold Kentucky in the flavor notes as well. Because Rustica has this unmistakable, just strength. Like you can tell. It's almost like you're smoking straight nicotine. And then Bold Kentucky has kind of that, but just a dash of sweetness to it and a little bit of tang. And then Old Dark Fired, since that has a little bit more Virginia in it, that adds a little bit more of that sweetness and a little bit more of that tang, but kind of from a different spectrum. It's wonderfully complex, but not too much complexity. Fantastic. I will definitely be ordering a pound of this. Yeah, this is. Oh, that's wonderful. Another absolute banger. From Per Jensen. Is it per or pear? Like pear, the fruit. Drop it in the comments. Let me know, because I'm an idiot. Wonderful stuff. 9.5 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic. My goodness. Huh. Donald Cole just commented on my Facebook thing. Golden Retriever hair everywhere. Any of my Golden Retriever owners out there, I know you feel my pain. So, this past weekend, moving away from this review a little bit, this past weekend, last weekend, there was no video. I had planned on going live. I put a post up saying I was going to be going live, and I didn't. I'm sorry for that. I got incredibly busy. People ended up popping over to say hey and hang out and have beers, and, well, things progressed from there, as I'm sure you all probably know. Uh, Now, the preceding week was a particularly challenging week for many reasons. Uh, First and foremost, we had to put my wife's dog down for behavioral reasons. Not not super happy about that, but it was time, and it really sucked. Um, she had been kind of a concern for the last several years, if not longer. Um, and things finally kind of came to a head um, weekend before last, because she bit me on the face when I wasn't even doing anything that could have been construed as threatening, or I was literally just kissing the top of her head before I went to bed. And she just, out of nowhere, no, my wife was sitting right next to her, or, a couple feet away or whatever, and she had never given any indication beforehand or then that she would do anything like that. Challenging the alpha in the pack, if you know pack rules and pack hierarchy, that is a no-no. And if she would do that to me as the alpha, she would do that to my daughter, possibly my wife. So it was time. She had gone after our golden a couple times. I think I've spoken about that. And that's why they can't be around each other anymore. And it was just time. And even though it was time, that didn't make it suck any less. That really, really sucked ass. So that happened. And then the over that weekend also we had our Oktoberfest. I think I mentioned that in my last video that we were going to be going to do that. We went to do that. It was a ton of fun. It was a blast. And one of our favorite food trucks was there. They do specifically Puerto Rican food. And one of my favorite Puerto Rican dishes of all time, if not my favorite Puerto Rican dish of all time, is called pernil. And basically, it is uh, a pork butt, pork shoulder, and it's it's delicious. There's really two ingredients to it: the pork and a ton of garlic. And I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the entire world. So, of course, I got an order of that. Came with rice, came with everything. It was delicious. Well, I'm biting into it and I feel a crunch when there shouldn't be a crunch because this pork is it's not like it's deep fried or something. This is soft, moist, tender pork. Well, I reach in my mouth and I pull out a chunk of what I thought was just a filling. I'm like, well, shit, that sucks. I'm going to have to go to the dentist. I go to the dentist on Monday. I get an appointment. No, Tuesday. I get the appointment made on Monday. I go Tuesday. They say, oh, that wasn't a filling. That was actually like half of your tooth. Your tooth broke in half and broke off. Sweet. So what do we do now? Well, the dentist says, well, you've got a couple options. The option we went with was extracting the tooth, or what was left of it, and letting it heal, and then doing 2 crowns, one on either side of that now gap, and whatever he's going to put in between. I can't remember what he said. So then the following day, I had another appointment to extract the tooth. Well, I've never had a tooth pulled before. I'm going to light this back up before I continue my story because it's delicious. I'd never had a tooth pulled before. I didn't know what to expect. I know it sucks. Why else would the phrase, it's like pulling teeth, exist? Usually saying something sucks. So, I go in the following day, and I have a super high tolerance for Novocaine or any kind of uh, injected numbing agent, local anesthetic. Why? I have no idea. So I tell him, this guy is a newer dentist at this practice. He did a great job numbing me up. I didn't feel any pinches. I didn't feel anything. And it was awesome. I was like, oh, finally one of these dentists gets this right. So I'm laying in the chair and he's doing what he's got to do. And he starts cranking on it. And he's like, you're going to have to kind of try to hold your head, fight the whichever way I'm pulling, pull the other way, counter pressure and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm doing that, and then I start to feel not pain. I'm feeling pressure. That's not really bothering me. But I start to feel like I'm going to pass out. I was like, what? So I kind of try to sit there and hang with it, and hang with it, and hang with it. I'm like, nope, you got to stop, dude. You got to stop. I need a minute. So, long story short, he finally ended up getting the tooth out. Uh, Ended up doing a bone graft and put like this membrane over top of that, and then put a few stitches in. So that was Wednesday, not this past week, but the week before. And I honestly didn't even have a pipe, I don't think, until Saturday or Sunday. So yeah, it was a rough week for sure. And then stuff at work has been interesting. This is gonna be a longer video today, so just if you don't feel like hanging out for this part, that's fine. But if you guys want to know what's going on with me, I'm fairly open, so felt like sharing. So work, most of you know, I started this newer job. I'm doing damage prevention for a very large natural gas company here in the Midwest, and it's been enjoyable to a certain extent, but my heart's just not in it. Now, that doesn't keep me from trying to do the best possible job that I absolutely can, um, but that does lead to something else that I'm going to share here in a moment. Last week we had a bunch of damages. It was like I couldn't possibly be in the right place at the right time. It was like I'd be one place and then a damage would pop up somewhere else. And I can't teleport, so, and I also can't be in more than one place at one time. So, it's it's kind of been a little demotivating, and not that I don't like it, but it's just kind of beating me down a little bit. And some of the damages I can do something about, some of them I can't. You know, I basically make sure that these locators are marking things accurately. I have no problem doing that. That's easy. However, some of these contractors are digging when they don't have a ticket at all. I can't do anything about that. I audit marks that have locates for tickets that have been called in. So that's a whole different thing. So that's pissing me off. And anyway, my heart hasn't really been in it. I haven't really been enjoying it as much as I thought I would. And there's no way of knowing something like that until you get into it and start doing it. And I said, I'll give it a few months because I started in July. I said, I'll give it a few months and see if maybe my mind changes on it. But the way things have been going and the way, I guess, the gas company's leadership has kind of been doing things, there's certain things that they will hold one accountable for, not necessarily me, but others, that there's literally nothing that can be done to prevent it. Uh, at least not at my level and not even at their level. So it's a combination of that and a combination of this wasn't really how I envisioned this progressing, that I actually applied to go back to Greene County. And I accepted a position as an inspector there. So instead of doing the locate stuff, I'll just be watching sewer and water go into the ground and inspecting water meters. It is a pay cut from what I'm making now, but that's okay. So yeah, lots been going on around here. Lots been going on. And I just try and take everything day by day and week by week and weekend by weekend. It's really all we can do. Try to stay positive and try to just keep things moving in a positive direction. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That is the way it's kind of been playing out. So, that's what's been going on with me. I am going to finish this bowl and get this video edited and all that stuff. And then I am going to get ready for some football today. Because I need it. I need to cut loose a little bit. Might even be smoking another pork butt and probably a turkey breast this weekend. Wife's trying to eat healthier, trying to, eat things that are a little better for her. So I said, well, why don't I get a big ass turkey breast and throw that on the pellet grill, the pellet smoker. By the way, I got a pellet smoker. So I have fully taken the dive into at-home barbecue, which I knew was going to happen if I started. So here we go. So yeah, probably go get a pork butt today, probably go get a turkey breast today, smoke them both. And I'm really excited about that because I love turkey. Did you hear that? Anyway, I love you guys. I'm so glad that you keep watching and you keep coming back. I still don't know why, but here we are, and I love you for it. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, but if you do, don't get caught. I'll see you guys next time.